All right, welcome back. So today we have a review of this Thuls manual aimed at the Scout Sniper. Really, this is aimed towards the DoD guy who might look at spending the money for these. These are about $100, so they are not cheap. But I'll give you guys my thoughts along the way and kind of what I think about this. So I have opened it. Previously, I kind of just skimmed through it, but we're going to go through it page by page here. So it is like a waterproof material, so that's good. We got some notes in the front, great. Right off the bat, we have this old mil dot reticle. Most optics are not going to have this in there anyway, so I would take this off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop the ring. This comes with a series of rings. You can put it all together. I'm going to divide this thing up to what I would and would not keep, and we'll see what's left at the end. Okay, so the cover, yeah, maybe I would keep that. All right. So old school mil dot reticle with some note section. I probably would not hang on to that. I don't need it for my world. Okay, so now we have a series of pages on the Tremor 3 reticle. This is fine, but I don't need this in the field, right? Like, I learned this in the classroom, I learned it on the range, and I've memorized it, and I've learned it, and I'm fine. So they have it here at, low power, so this is 6.5 power, which I don't know what I'm getting at 6.5 power, right? I could probably just skipped up to 17 and seen it a little more clearly. I don't understand why you need to show me the full zoomed out and then it on 17, and then you want to show me again at 25, right? So if you had just shown me the zoomed in reticle, I could have, one sheet, a half a sheet showing me that, the small ticks are 0.2, what is what here. I don't need to see the whole reticle. So we got like extra pages here, building out reticle that we don't really need. And this is kind of useful. You could draw something out here to show, how big something is at what power, and we'll get to that too later on. Again, same there, but a mil is a mil, right? So if I've drawn it out at a higher magnification, the thing is still going to be XYZ mils at whatever distance. So all those pages could have been, broken down into this on the front and this on the back. I didn't need you just show me the reticle at more than one magnification. All right, so now we have angle corrected range, distance in degrees. It's basically, hey, for shooting at what angle, how far is the actual distance. This is fine. It's a pretty handy little thing to keep in there, and we keep on going again. So we got now mils range estimation, meters to inches. I don't think you really need this. And again, meters to inches. How big something is, I don't think you really need that. And it just keeps going. So pages and pages of meters to inches conversion with mils. Okay. Now we get some more stuff here. We're showing all the dimensions of the human body, right? The face. The problem with this is that I simply don't need all of it. Like this right here, 19.5 and a half meter, right, for the shoulders. That's really what I need. And with the face, right, I probably really only need to know that angle, or distance rather, which is about 6 inches. So if you know, across the head is 6 inches, the shoulders are 19.5 inches or a half meter, you're good for everything you need to do as far as range estimating on a person. Again, this sheet doesn't need to be this in depth, right? I'm wasting a page. I'm adding just more to this book than I need. Similarly, now we have a whole page showing me the average human height by gender in inches and centimeters by country, which I don't think anyone would ever use because not everyone is average. So, it's great that I know that in Finland, a woman's average height is 65 inches, and in France, she's 63.5 inches. If I just look through all these numbers, I'm going to average every female out to be 5'6". Like, the end. I don't care what country I'm in. I'm averaging women out to be 5'6". The end. This whole page, I wouldn't really keep. This on the back, though, this is the stuff that you want to know, right? So if a person measures out at 7 mils, he probably is 313 yards or 286 meters away. This is the kind of information that you need. So you could put this stuff on one card, right? How big is a person in mils at what distance based on their size, and what's the average shoulder width and the average height for everybody everywhere. Like, this page by itself is what would be useful. Direct weapon systems, like, these are great, but I don't need to take it with me. I don't need to carry that around. Same with the vehicles, right? Don't need to carry that around with me. Like, this is getting into the point where this is like a nice textbook to like throw at a young guy and be like, learn this stuff in here, but I don't need it to be ruggedized. I don't need to carry it around with me everywhere. You know, vector instructions, how to use that. I mean, you should learn this, memorize it. You shouldn't have to pull that out. A Castline line, so this probably should be up front by itself. And then we have it on the back here. All right, it just goes on. So this brings up an interesting issue too. So they advertise this as being easy to erase. So you can write on it with like a matte pen and then erase it with hand sanitizer or some other alcohol-based wipe. I have never found that to be true. So every time I write on one of these with a matte pen, it just bleeds blue or whatever else I'm writing on all over it. It just never cleans up as well. Just a normal laminated piece of paper. Okay, we got some artillery mortar coordination notes, just blank stuff. I don't think you need to keep that in the book either. I would not carry that around with me. All right, same for call for fire. Like, maybe keep that as its own little page. All right. More just details that are fine for having, you know, in your head or on their own card. So maybe this really should be like 3 cards that you carry around instead of an entire book. All right, we're just going in here. It's like this is not stuff you need to reference. This is stuff you need to actually know. More indirect weapons tables. And then what we got here, illumination planning data. Right, so again, this is now like, it's a textbook. It's not a quick guide at this point. All right, if you're referencing this while you're calling for fire, you're probably wrong. Again, textbook stuff. All right, so here's a great topic here. The Scout Sniper order format. How is this different than anyone else's order format? The answer is there isn't. There should just be one order format, and the thing that really gets unique is going to be in all of your contingency planning. Right? That's the difference here. Right? PCI card. I mean, this is again kind of what you should learn as a leader. This is an example, right? This is not what you should be filling out before you guys go out on patrol. Again, this is a quick kind of like a reference, but it's so general, and you can't trust this to be the thing you're actually going to do in reality. Then let's see, we only got a few pages left. So you got a Frago, which really you should be writing this in your normal notebook anyway. Right, it's blank pages. Then we got conversion tables. So this is kind of my favorite part here. I've never had to convert nautical miles to miles in the field. Nope, don't need this, that's for sure. And then on the back, what do we got? All right, miles per hour to knots. I mean, come on. At this point, like, these pages almost look like when you're just adding words to your essay. So LZ size by aircraft, that's pretty useful. But you should probably have already planned out the LZs you're going to use so you don't carry this around, right? This is what you should be referencing in something that doesn't need to cost $100 and be waterproof. And then finally, the last page. So this is where I kind of like something that they did, is that they made the Casevac or Tacovac 9-line the back page on the hard stock. So if you're just carrying this around in your pocket, like so, you pull it over, boom, you got your 9-line card. So on that note, I've seen it done really well where guys have a 9-line in their pocket and it already has their information on it. So you have your card in your shoulder pocket, I pull it out and I read off the 9-line for you. It already has all your information on it as necessary. All right, what do I think of this? I think you can get 99% of the information, pretty much all the information that's in here in a different source and have it in a better format. I think if you're buying a notebook for a course that you're going to issue guys, this isn't, like the worst textbook. Like, hey, here's your, manual, your Ranger Handbook equivalent, learn everything in here. But this is not a thing that I think you should buy and think that you're going to carry around in your pocket. Like, I would never carry something this big and this like extraneous around all the time. I might pull a few cards out, but I've rapidly learned that making your own stuff and just laminating it and having it in a format that works for you works better than anything that you're going to buy in the store. So, great material. Most of it's pretty decent, but there's just a lot of fluff in here, and I think you should save yourself the $100. Guys, any questions, let me know. If you have one of these books, I'm interested to hear what you think about it, and if you found that it's useful. Thanks.